G'day, my name is Felix and welcome to my little corner of the back room. Today we're checking out more Dreambound. Let's get into it. Oh yes, we are attempting to escape. First things first, let's look at this bed. With an unsteady heart, Noah looked towards a large bed that sat in the center of the room. Pretty much what I expected a medieval prison bed to look like. Guess I'll check it, just in case. I'm not too excited about digging through someone's used bedding though. Want me to do it? Noah blinked in surprise for a moment before nodding. It was Kane he was with, after all. He had always been the kind of person who would happily take the jobs no one else wanted to do. Doesn't seem to be much here. In the pillow? He fell through the pillowcase, his eyes going wide. Nice thinking. He pulled out something small and metallic, a screwdriver. Oh, that'll be helpful, I think. How did he get this in here anyway? Probably watched one too many TV shows and thinks everyone has a screwdriver hidden in their cell. Well, that works for me. Hopefully he dreamed up some way we can use this thing too. Kane quickly handed the screwdriver over to Noah, his hand lingering on the other man's just for a moment before he pulled back. So I get the feeling Kane has feelings for Noah, and I feel like he has had feelings for Noah since they were teenagers. What do we look at next? Bedside table? Standing proudly next to the worn-down bed was a wooden bedside table. On top, a small candle bolted to the surface. Noah approached it carefully before reaching down to touch the surface. Clean. What's in the drawer? Let's find out, shall we? Grabbing onto the handle, Noah pulled gently, but it refused to budge. I think it's locked. What kind of prison lets their prisoners have a locked drawer? This one, apparently. I suppose anything's fair game in a dream. Let's find something to unlock it. Noah turned to the chained-up man still stuck to the wall, but he refused to look back at him. Hey, what's in here? Just leave him. He obviously doesn't want to talk to us. What is your beef with the teacher? I don't know what happened there. Okay. Don't particularly want to look at a dubious bucket. The bars? Outside the bars, various voices could be heard. Some were barely more than whispers, fleeting words never to be discovered. Others were screams and shouts, the sounds of those never to be released, begging for freedom. Even if these people aren't real, this isn't right. Unless you feel like staying here with them, we need to get out of here. That's all well and good to say, but there's a thick set of bars stopping us from leaving. Oi! Be quiet in there! A guard walked past, bashing the hilt of his sword against the metal bars. Noah and Kane jumped back in surprise. Seeing someone with a sword wasn't on my bingo card for the day. Just outside the bars, the keys hung on a hook by a rope out of reach, the rope trailing down to the group, begging to be pulled on. Keys are hanging right there. If we could just reach them. From this far away? Maybe there's something in here we can use to grab it. I suppose it'll be more difficult than that though. Hey, what's that? Kane pointed toward the ground outside the bars where a piece of paper sat. That wasn't there before. Quickly, grab it. Okay. Looking back and forth quickly for any more guards, Noah peered at the paper that had been dropped outside the cell. Stretching his arm between the metal bars, Noah reached out far enough to touch it with his fingertips. Kane watched over his shoulder, inspecting the newly acquired item. It's a schedule? Looks like it. 7 till 1, 4 till 8, 2 till 6, 1 till 7. Who knows what time it is now anyway? Maybe it means something. Let's just hope the guards won't be breathing down our necks while we're trying to, escape. Beyond the barrier, keeping the three inside the cell from freedom, a hollow noise sounded, metallic in nature. A shiver ran down Noah's back as it echoed through the prison. Source unknown. Yeah. For now, let's just take another look around. Okay. What is... Oh, excuse me. I want to look at the loose brick. Thank you. The room was cold, chilling the inhabitants down to their bones. The cool stone of the walls reminded them that they weren't welcome. Noah reached up and ran his fingers over them, freezing to the touch. The moisture clung to his skin. Feels just as lifelike as I remember. You said you used to do this a lot, didn't you? Are they always like this? Like what? So hostile. I thought I saw the people around me at their worst. I thought I knew, to some extent, how unwanted I was. As it turned out, that was only a fraction of how they really felt. The truth people keep to themselves, the secret they hold, the way people truly think about you, you'll find them all here. So yes, they're all like this in a way. Noah, not everyone is like that. Everyone that's left is like that. Have you ever been in Kane's dreams? He seems to really care about you, dude. A stone shifted beneath Noah's palm as he ran his hand across the dark grey wall. The stone is loose. Can you pull it out? No, it's still too heavy. I see something around here we could use to break it. Let's keep looking. Alright, and Noah? I would never do anything to hurt you. You know that. Yeah, maybe. He's so untrusting, dude. Okay. What about... Can I use this to smash that? Would that work? Hang on. Ball and chains? So that's how it is. What is? The ball and chains hanging from the ceiling. They line up perfectly with that loose brick. Nice job, I hadn't noticed. Let's give it a go. With some effort, Noah pulled the heavy ball back as far as he could and let it go. It sailed through the air before crashing into the brick, smashing it to pieces. Good job! Thanks! Initially excited, Noah frowned to himself before he composed his face. Oh my god, let yourself be happy, dude! I mean, it's no big deal. We just gotta get out of here. You still did a good job. There's nothing wrong with being happy about that. Isn't the place to be happy? There's nothing wrong with happiness. He's so depressing, dude. I get it. It's a real bummer. With precision, Noah raised the screwdriver to the 4 screws in the corners of the grate, quickly removing it from the wall. I knew that screwdriver would come in useful eventually. But what's this behind the grate? What is it? Hang on. Put my screwdriver away. Noah and Kane approached the hole in the wall to find a small square box. Tentatively, Noah reached out and picked it up. He turned it around in his grasp. There didn't seem to be anything noteworthy on its surface, except for 4 unmarked buttons on the front. What is this supposed to be? Good question. Pressed a few of the buttons, but nothing eventful happened. Think we have to press them in the right order? Probably. Nothing's easy. How are we meant to guess? It could be anything. There should be a clue somewhere in the room. It's how dreams usually work, hopefully. Kane nodded in response, his eyes caught on the small box. Or we could try to smash it. And if it has something breakable in it? Right, well, I'm sure we have half a brain between us, we can work it out. Speak for yourself. Okay, hang on. Take the schedule. There's numbers here. What now? Nothing, it's just a hunch, but I feel like these numbers are related to the ones on the schedule. You think? How? Haven't worked out that part yet. Okay, hang on. Let me have a look at these numbers. Take a photo of them. Okay. Look at these numbers. I can't. Noah knelt down to the ground by the wall, peering at something that had been scratched into the stone. There's something here. Okay, you get a photo of this. Okay. Let me take a look. Kneeling down by Noah's side, he glanced at the numbers marked on the wall. What exactly is this supposed to mean? Good question. Let's keep this in mind. Okay. So what do these have in common? There's 4 buttons. Okay. Ah, are you okay? I'm fine, it just shocked me a little. Let me take over. It's fine, I've got this. Okay, hang on, give me a hint. The code to unlock the box is 8 digits long. Okay. I figured out that much. Hang on. Combine the numbers on the schedule to find the unlock code. Combine the numbers. Okay, In what way do I combine them? And how does it relate to that? Hold on. I might be too stupid for this. Give me one more hint, please. You can find which button corresponds to which number on the wall. Okay, hang on. I need a pencil. Grab a post-it note and a pencil. Okay, I'm going to draw it out. So, on the wall, in top left we have 15, top right is 28, bottom is 37, bottom right is 46. And our schedule is 7 to 1. So, bottom left, top left, 4 to 8, bottom right, top right, 2 to 6, top right, bottom left, no, bottom right, then 1 to 7, top left, bottom left. I don't know if this is right. Okay. Bottom left, top left, bottom right, top right, top right, bottom right, top left, bottom left. Oh my god, dude, I figured it out! The box in Noah's hand dinged lightly before the box opened, revealing what was inside. A key? A key? This is too easy, though. Way too easy. What do you mean? Noah stared at it, untrusting. Seriously, sometimes things can just be easy. Come on, this is something to celebrate about. I guess so. Fine, let's try it out. A sigh escaped Noah's lips as he rubbed the back of his neck, eyes darting away from Kane. Is something wrong? No, nothing's wrong, it's just... it doesn't matter. Don't leave me hanging like that. Thanks. For being here, I guess. A look of surprise crossed Kane's face at Noah's honest words. Well, it's not like I had much choice, but I'd come with you anytime. I'd just rather never come back here, to be honest. Yeah, me too. I think this is probably the most you've spoken to me in years, you know. Sorry. Okay. So we figured that out, and what did we get from it? A key. I'm not stupid enough to think that this is going to let us out. I think this goes to the bedside table. The key slipped in with a soft click before opening. Of course it opens the drawer. Maybe there'll be another key inside? Only one way to find out. With a creaking hollow sound, the drawer opened. The inside was bare except for... gloves? Really? What is it? Well... Kane scratched at his face awkwardly, his gaze facing away. Noah followed his line of sight until it landed on something he wanted to ignore. Fantastic. Wait, what's that? Looking down, Noah noticed something else. Something scratched into the wood. Let's take a closer look at that. Okay, hang on. Okay. Take another photo. Okay. What do you think this is supposed to mean? Well, that's a good question. Well, whatever, we can work it out right. Well, whether we can work it out right now or not, I think it's probably important. Helpful. Okay, so... are these for the dubious bucket? I can't believe I'm doing this. The offer still stands if you want me to give it a go instead. No, I can at least do this much for myself. There's nothing wrong with depending on me. With a slight frown, Noah discarded any response he had for Kane and dipped his hand into the bucket. So? Slowly, as if he was scared to find out exactly what he just grabbed onto, He pulled the object into sight. A bottle. The glass was darkened and dirty, hiding whatever was inside of it. Kane leant in close as the cork was removed. Noah flipped the bottle over, letting the contents fall onto the rock ground with a clack. Facing upwards from the ground was a tiny hexagon with a crescent moon design. Not what I was expecting, honestly. This better have been worth sticking my hand in that filth for. That bucket was only used for ceiling leak. It's just been sitting there for a while. Oh, he speaks. Looks like you got all worked up for nothing, eh? Okay, so this goes here. Box of buttons. The puzzle piece locked into place alongside the others, waiting to be turned. Well, that's that fixed. Okay. So, is this... There's 4 lines of arrows. So is it left, left, right, right, left, right, 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 right. Ah! The 4 buttons locked in place with a click. Kane and Noah leant over it, waiting for something to happen. It's not really as satisfying as that other puzzle, is it? Maybe if it made a noise. Well, it doesn't matter. Let's just see what's inside this thing. A candle? Interesting. Noah froze in place. That voice. That same voice, it never changed. No, you don't have to talk to him if you don't want to. Don't have much choice if I want to get out of here. What is it? I didn't mean to. All this time, I just wanted to see you again to apologize. Well, here I am. And this means nothing because this isn't really you. You're acting sorry for yourself, that's all. Do you think you're the victim here? Do you think I have to forgive you just because you want me to? What did he do, dude? What did he do? No, I'd rather you sit there and feel sorry for yourself. Don't bother talking to me unless you're going to help us leave. Damn, dude. So what the fuck was in here? Oh, a candle. Right. What the fuck do we do with the candle? Do we use this on this? The man chained to the walls shuffled in place. Metal scraped against stone, a sound so jarring and discomforting that Kane couldn't help but shift from foot to foot. As Noah turned toward the sound, a scene came to mind. Outside, the sun high in the sky, someone stood at the front of a classroom, writing something on a whiteboard. He tapped his pen against the desk as the teacher's voice became background noise. He glanced to the side. A boy with blonde hair and round glasses glanced back at him and smiled. The scene fell away into nothingness, and in its place was his childhood teacher, huddled on the floor, completely alone. Noah turned away from the shell of a man and to the bedside table. On it, bolted down, was a small lantern. Quickly dipped his candle into it, lighting the wick immediately. The flame flickered from side to side. Noah's breath caught in his throat. Freedom. Okay. What do we use this for? Genuinely. This is it. What is what? What are you doing? This is our only choice, look. Noah pointed toward the key, which hung from a thin rope that fell to the stone ground. Around it, some kind of dark liquid. You're going to bet everything on throwing a candle towards a rope? Don't you think that looks like oil? If it catches fire and the key drops to the ground, we should be able to reach it. Right, alright, I trust you, let's do this. Noah swallowed hard. Calming his shaking hand, he held tight to the lit candle, sizing up just how far he had to throw it. And there! Gently, as to not put it out before it even reached the rope, Noah tossed it toward the key. In an instant, the puddle of oil went up in flames and the rope quickly followed suit. Moments later, the key fell to the stone floor with a clang, almost bouncing toward Noah. He reached between the bars as far as he could, to the point where his shoulder ached from being pressed into the hard metal. And finally, it was in his grasp. A key made of dark, rusted metal sat against his palm. He clutched it to his chest. Yes! You got it? As he stood from the ground, Kane wrapped an arm over Noah's shoulders, pulling him close and almost ruffling his hair. I never doubted you for a second. Sure, buddy. Bullshit. Hey, get off me. Something about the scene playing out in a dimly lit, dirty prison inside a dream made Noah feel nostalgic. Like nothing had ever changed. Like he was a school kid, with all the hope of the future ahead of him. The smile fell from his face as the weight of the future of his present suddenly weighed on him. The feeling, this nostalgia, how could he feel it? How could he dare to feel it? To feel happiness? Pulled away from Kane and brushed his clothes off. Come on, I'll unlock his chains. Kane, who was smiling alongside Noah, also paused in his excitement. He searched the back of his head, as if embarrassed. He scratched the back of his head, as if embarrassed for his sudden outburst. Right. That's why we're here anyway. It's time to go, Mr. Floyd. Can I really leave? Noah knelt down and quickly unlocked the chains that held the man down. His wrists were bloody and bruised. Yes, it's time to leave. For reasons unknown to even himself, Noah reached out to help his old teacher from the ground. Mr. Floyd's face was filled with emotions, none of which seemed to win over the others. His mouth opened and closed, then opened and closed once again. He had something to say. He had many things to say. But nothing escaped his lips. Noah turned his back to the man and walked back toward the locked door. The key slid effortlessly into the lock and the door opened. At the same time, the world began to fall apart around them. The walls fell, the floors cracked, and the cell shook as if it wanted to tear itself apart from reality. Mr. Floyd looked as if he was reaching out to Noah. His mouth opened, but no words came out as he disappeared too. Noah grabbed Kane's hand. Run! We gotta go! What's happening? The dream is falling apart. We don't have long, we need to get outside. Hand in hand, the two ran through the twisting corridors, searching for a light that would be their savior as the world rumbled around them. Booms echoed throughout the building, so loud they could feel it in their very cores. Kane's hand in Noah's felt sweaty. Noah was sure his felt the same. His legs burned, his muscles screamed out in pain, begging for relief. When had been the last time he'd run like this? Probably after... There! The door! They sprung out of the door into the world outside, just in time to watch the entire castle fall down into a heap and get sucked out of existence. The world outside looked much the same as when they first arrived, but soon it wouldn't. Soon it would collapse and disappear. A fleeting dream that could never truly exist. Shit! Let's go! How do we get out of here? If we get back to where we came in, there should be a way. The two turned to leave, but someone stood in their way. A man with blonde hair and deep green eyes. Why does he look like August? Why does he look like August? The two men froze. Their mouths hung open with surprise, and their eyes were so wide it wouldn't have been a surprise to either of them if they simply burst out of their heads. The man smiled softly, a sweet smile that reminded one of a sunflower in full bloom, a sweet smile that could only belong to one person. August? He looked at Noah with sadness in his eyes. Noah. Noah had a million questions running through his mind, a million things he wanted to say, a million things he wanted to do, but his mouth wouldn't cooperate. He couldn't say a single word. How many times had he gone over a situation like this in his head? How many speeches had he prepared? Were he ever to see August again? Tears formed in the corners of his eyes. Kane continued to stare, deep in confusion. Who? How? Is he a part of the dream? Mr. Floyd knew him well, so it wouldn't be a surprise. But he looked so whole, so real. Who are you? My name is Crow. Who are you? He waited for those words he wished for so dearly. For him to be real, for him to be August. I'm nobody, just a wanderer. You two had best be going before you cease to exist along with the rest of this world. The boy named Crow smiled at them, the same gentle smile that Noah knew so well. He wanted to run back to him, to ask him those million questions, but instead he felt a tug at his hand. Kane. Noah, we have to go. But when Noah looked back, he was gone. Just before the world turned in on itself, Kane and Noah escaped. The same falling feeling, the same fear deep in his stomach, and then he was back. Back home, in a reality where he was alone. When Noah opened his eyes, he was once again in his house, sitting in front of his easel. On it, a half-completed painting. Green fields that twisted into something sinister, something beyond reason. He lifted his brush once again, and this time every stroke came with ease. It was as if he was spilling his very soul onto this canvas. Each and every drop of paint reflected him. That ease was something he hadn't felt in far too long. But his mind was elsewhere. Crow. If Kane hadn't, I could have asked you those million questions. I could have felt you again. Even if we could only chat for a little while, that would have been enough. Is it you? He looked just like you. His smile reminded me so much of yours. Oh, in August. Please. A knock sounded from the front door. And for some reason, Noah stood from his painting and opened it. Something in the past he would have simply ignored. Perhaps his mind was too occupied for him to consider what he was doing. Perhaps when he opened that door, somewhere deep inside of him hoped to see a certain someone with a smile like spring and eyes as deep as a forest. But the person on the other side of his door was a man he'd never seen before. That man with white hair pushed past Noah into his house. Noah stood still in shock, his eyes following the man in disbelief. Oh, it's that strange guy from earlier. He kicked over a few canvases from a forgotten couch in the corner of the room and sat down, making himself at home. Only a moment later, he picked up the remote and turned on the TV, kicking his legs up onto an abandoned painting. Okay, dude, just make yourself at home, I guess. What the fuck? What the hell are you doing? Get out, or I'm going to call the police. Your phone service got cut off. His voice was flat and matter-of-fact. And how the hell do you know that? I saw the disconnection notice in your trash. Noah shut the door and approached the man, filled with apprehension. Who the hell just comes into someone's house, sits on their couch, and turns on the TV? What's going on? Alright, jackass, who are you? Ivan. Noah finally got a good look at this Ivan. His hair was bleached completely white, and his eyes were different colors. His clothes were strange, as if he belonged on a catwalk instead of surrounded by all this mess. Still, he had no trouble making himself at home. He leaned back into the couch, completely uninterested in Noah. His eyes rested on the TV, his expression bored. What's going on? Finally, Noah noticed it. Markings that ran up his arms and neck. Markings he'd seen before more than once, on that very same TV. What do you want from me? I'm staying here tonight. Don't have anywhere else to go. Answer the damn question! You got a problem? I said I'm staying here tonight. But why? Because I've taken an interest in you. Anyway, I'm tired. Where's the bedroom? Without thinking, Noah pointed toward the door. Thanks. You can take the couch. What the fuck? Ivan stood from his place, straightened out his clothes, and went into the bedroom. Noah stood still in shock, wondering what just happened. Shaking his head, he picked up his brush again to paint. I'll deal with him later. Can't lose this inspiration. Tap, tap, tap. The end of his pencil slowly tapped against his desk as his eyes concentrated on the blonde boy's profile. 1 week ago, August had moved into their class. The initial buzz around him had become subdued, and he had fit in with others easily. He was naturally charming, kind, smart. In short, he could have become friends with anyone. Yet all week, they'd walked home from school together, they'd eaten lunch together during their breaks. Something about Noah's mind was fixated on him. His voice, his smile, though he was so interested in absolutely everything, no matter who was talking. The way he thought Noah was so amazing, the way he would hang on to each and every one of his words, and treat them like the greatest treasure. Noah was completely enamored, whether he realized it or not. Noah, is there something you need? No, Mr. Floyd, I'm sorry. He put the pencil down, embarrassed about being called out in front of everyone yet again. Before August had arrived, he tried his best to blend into the background, to be ignored wherever possible. Didn't seem to be working. The class laughed at him, everyone except for August and Kane. He buried his head in his workbook, his cheeks a deep red, anything to escape their laughs. But he knew well enough he would laugh too, if it was someone else. That's all for this week, class. No homework since I'm feeling particularly kind right now. Make sure to do some self-study if you find yourself with extra time. The bell rang and everyone began clearing out the room. Kane sauntered over to Noah's desk, a lopsided smile on his face. Nice tapping. Shut up, I was just thinking. About? Class, of course. Right, Hamlet is so interesting after all. Noah rolled his eyes, but he still laughed in return. Anyway, I want to stop by the arcade on the way home. Apparently, they have some new machines. I wish. My parents got me a new tutor, so I gotta go straight home. Boo, that sucks. We'll enjoy. I'll go have fun without you. Asshole. Like a spring shower of flowers, August walked up to stand beside Kane. That same gentle smile on his face. Could we stop by a store on the way home? I wanted to buy some new film. Noah's too busy for us, tutoring apparently. I have enough time for that. What? That won't take that much time. We can go to the arcade another day. Right, I'll come too then. Thought you were going to play games. Oh, if you're busy, I can go by myself. No, I'm not really that busy. I can come. It's so obvious. Noah stood from his desk and picked up his backpack. For some reason, Kane looked disappointed. He's jealous, bro. He wants to be your man. Instead of noticing that, though, Noah couldn't keep his eyes away from August. The three of them left the classroom behind. Sorry, I'm eating bread. Hang on 1 second. Walking down the stairwell, August suddenly paused. Oh, I think I left my camera on my desk. You two can go on ahead. I don't want to keep you waiting when you have tutoring. We can walk together another time. August waved to Noah and Kane before disappearing back up the staircase. Kane turned to leave, only stopping when he noticed Noah wasn't moving. Come on, he said to leave without him. You go on ahead. I'll wait. I'll just wait too. Oh, Kane. It's fine. You wanted to go to the arcade anyway. The look that Noah didn't quite understand passed over Kane's handsome features before he shrugged, turned and started going down the stairs before he looked back up at Noah. Yeah, I wanted to go with you. See you tomorrow then. Aww! He disappeared from the stairwell, leaving Noah alone waiting. He tapped his foot nervously and cleared his throat. His palms felt sweaty, and for some reason he suddenly wished Kane had stayed after all. What am I even meant to say to him one-on-one? Kane's always been there. Oh! A few steps higher than him, August paused in surprise. In his hands, both a small pink camera and his glasses. A slight dusting of red stood out against his pale skin. Noah desperately searched for something, anything to say, but he came up blank. August finished polishing his glasses before placing them back on his face, as if to confirm what he was seeing was actually happening. You should have gone on ahead. You didn't have to wait for me. No big deal. I wanted to go together anyway. August's surprise turned into a smile. Because we haven't had that much of a chance to get to know each other. I'd like that. Why don't we go now then, before I make you any more late? August brushed past Noah, leading the way. A faint floral smell followed him. The two left the school side by side. A breeze so light that it was barely noticeable blew through the quiet street, gently ruffling August's hair. It wasn't something Noah tried to notice. It was more like he couldn't help but notice. At first they walked in silence. It wasn't awkward, but Noah still racked his mind, trying to come up with anything to say. Anything that would make him sound cool or funny, or like someone August would want to be friends with. So, do you like the school? Why that? I sound so lame. Yeah, I do. Everyone's been really nice to me. I like Mr. Floyd too. He's fun. Yeah. You said you moved around a lot, right? My dad's job involves a lot of travel, so I've never stayed anywhere longer than a year. Not even sure how long we'll stay here, to be honest. Your mum must hate that. Oh. I'm sure she would, but she actually died a long time ago. Awkward. What have I done? I'm so sorry, I didn't mean. Don't worry. There's no way you could have known. It's okay. What was she like? My dad said she was a lot like me, but I don't know. She died during childbirth. I'm just making things worse. Why, Noah, why? Sorry, I made the atmosphere a little heavy, didn't I? I haven't told anyone else before. No, it's okay. I don't mind what we talk about. I just like talking to you. Well, I like talking to you too. The sun beat down on their faces, warming them to their cores. Every step felt as if it echoed through Noah's body. How about this? Can you guess why my name is August? Well, were you born in August? He smiled wider. He smiled wide, brighter than the sun. I'm August, born in August. That's cute. I don't know about cute. Maybe my parents just picked the first thing they thought of. Noah shook his head. It suits you. You feel like an August born in August. Thanks, Noah. Oh, this is the store I wanted to go into. Do you want to come inside or wait here? Noah looked up at the store. The window was filled with cameras of all shapes and sizes. I'll wait here. Okay, I'll be quick. It's okay to take your time. As soon as August disappeared into the store, Noah leant against the wall, banging his head on it a few times. I'd have to say all that. What if he hates me now? I don't think he hates you, bro. I think he likes you too. Feels like someone's holding my tongue whenever I talk to him. What's wrong with me? Young love. Never liked this with Kane, or with anyone else in class. Just him. Him. With a sigh, Noah looked down at his phone. He already had 3 missed calls from his mother. But as his eyes went from his phone screen to August, who he could just see from the window front of the camera store, the choice was obvious. He buried his phone in his back pocket just as August came gliding out of the store. Noah stood up straight instantly and cleared his throat. What'd you buy? I needed some new film for my camera, see? August pulled the film out of the bag. Noah had never been one to be interested in photography, but right now it seemed like the most interesting thing in the world. Right, you said you like taking pictures, I remember. I love it. I don't have a fancy camera or anything, just an instant one, but it lets me keep memories of all the places I've been. It makes me happy. Won't forget anything if I have them. Once again, side by side, Noah and August continued down the street. Should we take the shortcut? From this point in town, shortcut isn't actually any shorter, but he likes going that way, doesn't he? Yeah, we should be able to get through from here. Noah climbed up the short brick wall that stood in the way, while turning around and holding his hand out for August. Didn't even hesitate for a moment, taking that hand. Noah easily pulled him up to stand beside him. And only for a moment did Noah's hand linger, but a moment was all it took. The river, not so far in the distance, gently trickled by in the mid-afternoon sun as the 2 boys together walked up the mountain path. It was a calming sound, yet Noah felt anything but calm. His hand felt hot where the 2 had touched, and his heartbeat echoed in his ears. Noah? Huh? What's gotten you so frightened? Oh, sorry, I was a little stuck in my own head. What was it? I just wanted to thank you for coming with me. I know you were busy. You really didn't have to. To be honest, I really wanted you to come, so I owe you one. You don't owe me one, actually. Let me see your photos sometime. My photos? They're not anything special. Please? Then show me some of your drawings, too. But I think that's a pretty fair trade. Okay. Up ahead, they could already see the back of their houses, and they climbed the final few steps quickly. Thanks again, Noah. I had fun. I'll see you tomorrow? It's fine, really. Yeah, see you tomorrow. Noah's voice was small and meek. His mind screamed out at him to stop being so timid, to just ask what he wanted to ask. But somehow he still struggled in a way he never had before. Wait! I was just wondering if I could, can I have your number? Fuck. Of course you can. I was actually going to ask you for yours too, but I forgot. They pulled out their phones, Noah ignoring the growing mound of missed calls and exchange numbers. Noah stared at the number on his screen as if he didn't believe they were real. See you tomorrow, Noah. Every step back to his house felt as if he were walking on clouds. He clutched his phone to his chest, his heart beating much faster than it should have been. There's something wrong with me, isn't there? Noah, just where have you been? Fuck. I had to go to the store to buy a new workbook. I filled my last one already. His mother clutched her necklace so tight her knuckles had gone white. Then you should have told me your new tutor was coming over today. Sorry, Mum. A man stood up from a couch, a man Noah recognized instantly. Mr. Floyd? Hey, Noah. Sorry, this is probably a surprise. I thought you knew. He rubbed at the back of his neck awkwardly, his eyes drifting over to look at Noah's mother. No, of course I didn't know. Why didn't anyone tell me? Dear, don't embarrass me in front of our guest. Have back to your room and start studying, okay? Let's just spend the evening working out exactly what I'm going to help you with. Does that sound good? Sure. I'll bring you in some snacks later. Noah, please make sure to concentrate and not waste any of Mr. Floyd's time. Do you understand? Uh-huh, sure. Noah held the door open long enough for his teacher to enter the room before he slammed it shut. His mother would probably scold him about it later, but at the present moment he didn't care. With a sigh, Noah sat down on the ground on one side of his table, while Mr. Floyd took the other. For a few moments it was quiet before Mr. Floyd opened his mouth again. Sorry, Noah, I really did think she told you. Anyway, this can be casual, I'm not your teacher here. You kinda are. Okay, I kinda am, but it's still different. Noah couldn't help but crack a smile at his flailing. A laugh escaped his lips. He leant back, finally relaxing. Fine. Do I get to call you by your first name? Whoa, let's not be hasty here. Mr. Floyd pulled out a notebook and a pencil. I would usually ask what you're struggling with, but we both know you don't struggle with anything. I'm honestly unsure about why you need a tutor. My mum might explode if I don't have one. So it's like that. Then why don't I teach you some of the more advanced subjects? They'll come in useful for university. Noah glanced towards the art box. That sounds good. Any specific topics that interest you? Any specific topics that interest you then, or would you rather I decide? Noah shrugged. Alrighty, we can start with math and science first of all. And by tomorrow, I'll work out a proper study plan. Cool? Cool. Or you could just watch a movie or play some games instead. Sure, if you want me to be fired. But not then, or I'll end up with an annoying tutor like last time. Annoying? He got the answers to his own questions wrong. He didn't appreciate me correcting him. Then went crying to my mum and quit. I'm almost impressed. How about we make this fun? If you manage to catch me making a mistake like that, I'll let you play games instead of studying that session. You're on. Despite his best efforts, the rest of the evening passed by without Noah being able to one-up his teacher in any way. Noah had always been smart enough, but Mr. Floyd knew exactly what he was teaching, as if it was second nature to him. A gentle breeze came from his ever so slightly opened window as he finally finished the last question given to him. Good work today. Seriously, Noah. You're going to go places. You're a smart kid. Geez, do you ever make any mistakes? I've made plenty of mistakes. I'm sure I'll make plenty more too. Good luck catching me making one though. How did their relationship end up so strained, dude? Mr. Floyd winked, closing up his textbook at the same time. But you're so smart. How did you end up a teacher? What, being a teacher isn't good enough? I didn't mean it like that. I'm kidding. Someone special to me told me I'd be good at it. Didn't really have anything I wanted to do when I was your age, so I just went with what they told me to do. And, as it turned out, I loved it. A girlfriend? Something like that. Anyway, it's getting late. We'll resume this tomorrow. Sound good? I don't know about good, but Mr. Floyd laughed out loud. I never realized you were such a troublesome kid. He stood and picked up his bags before smiling down at Noah. I'll walk you to the door. Done already? It's 9 p.m. You should be exceptionally proud of your son. He's got a good head on his shoulders. Hey. And I am, Mr. Floyd. He's my pride and joy. You don't fucking act like it, but sure. I'll see you tomorrow, Noah. Good job today. With a casual wave, he left the house. I'm gonna go to sleep. Good night. Good night? Oh, Noah, your brother is going to be back from his school trip soon. He has a brother? Right. I didn't know he had a brother. The room was already dark. For some reason, this was the time of day Noah liked most. The time of day when no one else would bother him or question him or yell at him. He could be alone with his thoughts. Thoughts that were, today, particularly disordered. Usually, he'd use this chance to draw, but for some reason, he couldn't bring himself to concentrate. Couldn't bring himself to put his pencil to paper. An odd occurrence for him. At any other time, this would be how he got his feelings out, how he made himself feel just a little bit better. But tonight his mind was muddled, a mess that he couldn't decipher. He unlocked his phone and stared at his contact list. August's name stood out from all the rest. His finger hovered over the message button, but he couldn't bring himself to press it. With a sigh, his hand dropped back down to the bed. Outside of his window, the rain fell noisily to the land below. Closed his eyes, listening to that sound, before picking his phone up again. First, he searched for one phrase. Why am I nervous around someone? The answers, inconclusive. More specific. Why do I feel both sick and excited when I see him? A particular word stood out to him on that search page. A word that made him blink a few times, both in surprise and validation. He searched for one final phrase before he fell asleep. What does a crush feel like? Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Take care of yourself, and as always, I will see you in the next one.